Every Sunday, without fail, Sora Fujiwara walked through the aquarium gates. But this Sunday was different. He just didn't know it yet. His membership card had worn thin from use, but the staff barely glanced at him. He was just another shadow in the crowd. He navigated through the darkened jellyfish gallery, drawn by habit to the one tank that felt more like a grave than an exhibit.
Why do I keep coming back here? It's just an empty tank.
Behind the glass, a blue-haired keeper glanced up from her clipboard. The moment she saw him, her hand moved to the control panel. Without any announcement, the tank exploded into electric cyan light. Jellyfish, invisible moments ago, pulsed with ethereal glow, performing a private ballet.
It always happens. Every time I stand here, this show starts, but the schedule says it shouldn't.
He remembered smaller hands tugging at his mother's sleeve, her laugh echoing in this very spot. But she only existed in fading photographs now. The glow faded, and the keeper vanished into the back rooms. Sora stood alone, the water now dark and silent. As he walked away, he didn't see the keeper pressing her palm against the glass, her eyes following him with a secret too heavy to hold. The next Sunday, the same thing happened, and the Sunday after that, Sora began to walk through those gates, not just to visit, but to watch the keeper. As soon as his shadow fell across the tank, her eyes found him. The lights ignited before the public schedule ever demanded it.
Nobody else ever gets this show. It's only me. Why? Excuse me, do you know the jellyfish feeding schedule? Has it changed?
He checked the official schedule board. The feeding times were listed clearly. 11 a.m. and 3 p.m., not 2 p.m. There was no mention of any show at the hour he always stood there. It didn't exist.
She's the one who always starts it. Is she doing it secretly?
The keeper caught his stare through the glass, then quickly turned away, hiding something.
Those shows aren't on the schedule. She's doing them only for me. I have to know why.
As he left that day, she watched him go with a tremor in her chest, her secret beginning to crack.
Excuse me, can you tell me about the jellyfish feeding show? The schedule doesn't match what I've seen.
The staff member hesitated, then whispered that the extra shows were unauthorized and the keeper had been officially warned.
You've been running shows outside of schedule. This is a serious violation. One more and you are suspended.
She bit her lip, nodding, the clipboard shaking as she tried to hold back tears.
She's going to lose her job over this. And it's my fault for coming every Sunday.
As she stepped out of the office, Sora moved into her path, his voice urgent.
Why do you only start the show when I am standing there? Who are you really?
Her face drained of color. She opened her mouth, but only a shuddering breath escaped. Before he could stop her, she turned and sprinted away, the bucket clattering.
I just wanted answers. Now, I've made everything worse.
Sora returned the following Sunday to a tank that was utterly dark. A hand-printed sign hung on the glass. Feeding show suspended.
Where is the keeper? Why has the show been suspended?
Utsumi ran unauthorized shows. She's been suspended indefinitely. It's final.
She lost her job because of me. All those Sundays, and I never even knew.
He drifted aimlessly until his fingers brushed a small brass plaque he had passed 100 times and never truly seen, in memory of Aiko Fujiwara. This tank is dedicated to her enduring love of the sea.
That's my mother's name.
Her smile, bright as the tank lights. Then the hospital room. Then the long, unbroken sound of the flatline. All these years he had been visiting her memorial without even knowing it. He stood frozen, the words blurring behind tears, the silence of the empty tank pressing in like a held breath. He found a bench in a quiet park and collapsed onto it, his mother's name still searing through his chest.
She gave everything to that aquarium. That tank is the last piece of her left in the world.
He pulled out his phone and called the aquarium's information line. A quiet staff member handed him a number after a long hesitation. He dialed the digits immediately, his thumb trembling as the line clicked and rang. A fragile voice answered on the fourth ring, already thick with tears.
This is Sora Fujiwara. I need to understand what you've been doing. Please, can we meet?
I'm so sorry. I'll explain. Meet me at the park by the aquarium.
I'm already here. I'll wait.
The line went silent, and he sat motionless, the weight of her voice hanging in the air like a held breath. Somewhere in the distance, a breeze stirred the cherry blossoms, and he braced himself for the truth that was about to come. A figure appeared at the end of the path, small and uncertain. She walked as if every step cost her. She lowered herself onto the bench, leaving a careful distance between them. Neither spoke.
You knew, didn't you? That plaque. My mother's name. How are you connected?
Yes, I knew. Your mother. She was a benefactor of the aquarium. When I saw your membership card, with the name Fujiwara, I realized you were her son.
She's known all along about my mother. That's why.
I felt I had to do something to honor her. She gave so much. The light show. It was my way of keeping her spirit alive. For you.
All this time, it was for my mother, not for me.
The words hung between them like the drifting blossoms, beautiful, but fragile, and Sora had yet to find his own words.
Years ago, I was just a volunteer here. When they installed the tank, I saw the plaque. I couldn't look away.
A younger Nanami had traced the letters of Aiko Fujiwara's name with her fingertip, reading the dedication over and over.
I couldn't forget that name, or the story. When I became a keeper, I promised myself I'd make her tank shine.
Then, one day, she scanned a membership card and saw it. Fujiwara. The same surname.
I knew then you were her son, and I thought, if I could just give you the most beautiful light show.
So she began the unauthorized feedings, her private ritual every Sunday, the moment she spotted him in the crowd.
It was never supposed to hurt anyone. I just wanted to honor her memory for you. But I just got suspended, and I dragged you into a mess. I'm so sorry.
She risked everything, just to light up my mother's tank. All those Sundays, it was that simple.
The silence returned, but it was heavier now, filled with everything she had laid bare, and everything he still had to say. Then, without a word, he reached across the empty space and gently took her trembling hand.
Thank you. I never knew anyone else still held her memory so close. My mother loved that aquarium more than any place. She used to say the jellyfish were like her thoughts, drifting, but always returning. After she died, I came here every Sunday, just to feel close to her. But I never let myself read the plaque. Your shows, they didn't just light up the tank. They made me feel like she was still there, watching with me. I won't let you lose your job over something that beautiful. I'll speak to the aquarium. I'll make them understand.
Nanami's eyes widened, the tears spilling faster, but this time not from guilt. She squeezed his hand back.
We'll make that show official. My mother's light deserves to be seen by everyone, not just me.
The sun dipped below the cherry trees, casting long ribbons of gold across the path. For the first time, the silence between them felt like understanding.
Come on, let's go talk to them now before another Sunday passes.
Sora led Nanami through the aquarium's back corridors, her hand still trembling in his. They stopped outside the director's office. Inside, Mr. Takeda and a senior administrator listened with folded arms as Sora began to speak.
My mother, Aiko Fujiwara, funded that jellyfish tank. She passed away when I was 10. Nanami recognized my surname and started the light shows as a private memorial. She never met my mother, but she gave me back her light.
That's a touching story, but rules exist for a reason.
I'll renew my mother's donation annually, specifically to fund an official memorial show. Call it Aiko's Light.
The administrators exchanged glances, the silence heavy. Then the senior one nodded slowly. Takeda uncrossed his arms with a heavy sigh. Utsumi, consider your suspension lifted. The 2 p.m. show will be added to the schedule permanently.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I promise I'll make it a show worthy of her name.
This isn't just for her. It's for everyone who needs to remember. My mother would have loved that.
A week later, the Jellyfish Gallery buzzed with a crowd for the first official Aiko's Light show. Nanami stood behind the glass, her hand steady on the panel. This time, there was no secret in her touch. The tank burst into life, jellyfish spiraling in a dance of cyan and gold, brighter than it had ever been.
She would have loved this. Not a grave, but a celebration.
After the applause faded, Sora found her at the Aquarium Cafe, 2 cups of coffee waiting.
You were incredible out there. That show, it felt like she was right there with us.
I was so nervous. But when I saw you standing in the crowd, I knew it would be okay.
They laughed together, unguarded, the sound of a friendship born from loss and light.
I'll renew the donation every year, and I'll be here. Every Sunday for the show.
She smiled, a real smile, and the weight of her secret finally lifted, replaced by a quiet understanding. Later that evening, after the crowds had gone and the aquarium fell silent, Sora slipped back in. He carried a small bouquet, the same kind his mother used to pick on their walks. His footsteps echoed in the empty gallery as he approached the brass plaque. He knelt, carefully arranging the blossoms against the cold metal of the plaque.
I think I finally learned how to let you go, Mom. Not forget, just let you go.
For a long moment, he traced the engraved letters with his fingertip, feeling the name that had shaped his life. Then he rose, picking up only the empty wrapping, leaving the flowers behind. He walked away, his shoulders lighter, as if a heavy current had finally released him. Behind him, the jellyfish tank glowed softly through the glass, a light that would never again go dark. But long before she became a keeper, a 14-year-old Nanami had stood in this very spot, clutching a different photograph. Her own mother had suffered a long illness, and the aquarium was their escape, the only place her mother still smiled.
When she passed, I thought I'd never feel connected to anyone again. Then I found this plaque. Aiko Fujiwara. Someone else who loved the sea. Someone else who left too soon.
She made a silent vow that day. If she ever could, she would make this tank shine for someone else who needed to remember. Years later, when she pulled that membership card with the name Fujiwara, it felt like her mother had sent her a mission.
I think I was really doing it for her too. My mom would have wanted someone to keep the light on.
So, your mother's memory is in that light too. I never knew. That makes me happy.
In the wake of her confession, Sora saw for the first time that the Keeper's devotion was woven from a double grief, a mutual need to keep the darkness at bay. And somewhere beyond the glass, 2 mothers' names rested side by side in silent, illuminated understanding. Nanami's eyes lingered on the aquarium's distant glow. She spoke as if confessing a second, deeper secret.
There's something else I should have shown you a long time ago. It's inside the aquarium.
She pulled him through a dim staff corridor, past signs he'd never read, until they reached a forgotten alcove near the filtration pipes. There, tucked behind a valve wheel, a tiny brass plaque gleamed under a layer of dust, in memory of Yuko Utsumi. May your spirit swim with the jellyfish forever.
My mother. I made this when I became a keeper. The light shows they were for her too.
All this time, both of their spirits were dancing in that light together.
A heavy silence filled the alcove, not of sorrow, but of a shared purpose finally understood.
If Takeda finds this, he'll remove it. I'll lose the last piece of her I have.
Then we'll fight to keep it. This place belongs to both our mothers now.
A sharp voice shattered the silence. Mr. Takeda stood at the corridor's end, his shadow stretching long under the flickering light.
What are you doing back here? This area is off limits. And what is that?
It's a memorial. Please don't.
Another unauthorized installation. First, the extra shows. Now this. Utsumi, your job is hanging by a thread.
Wait. This plaque is for her mother. She lost her, just like I did. It's not just a rule violation. It's grief.
I understand grief, Fujiwara. but rules exist to protect this institution. If I let every employee install personal memorials, this place would be a cemetery.
Then let me make it official. I'll add a clause to my donation, a second memorial fund for all families. For any mother remembered here.
And if the board rejects it, you'd be associated with a scandal, unauthorized shows, hidden plaques. Your family's name could be tarnished.
My mother spent her life making this place a sanctuary, not just a museum. If I have to risk my name to protect that, then so be it.
Takeda's eyes flickered. For a moment, something human passed through the stern mask. I'll take your proposal to the board, but no more secrets, or the deal is off. Takeda strode away, his footsteps echoing down the corridor, leaving Nanami and Sora in stunned silence.
Sora, you risk your reputation, your family's name, for a stranger's secret. Are you really okay with this?
You are not a stranger anymore, and that plaque is as much a part of this place as my mother's. I couldn't let them tear it down.
Before Nanami could respond, the heavy door at the end of the corridor swung open again. Takeda returned, a single sheet of paper in his hand.
The board is willing to accept the memorial fund, but they have one condition. You will serve as its public face, Fujiwara.
Public face. That means cameras, interviews, everyone knowing about Mom. I've spent 15 years hiding from that.
Sora, don't do this if you are not ready. I can just resign. You don't have to carry my burdens.
My mother would want her love to be seen, not hidden away. I'll do it for her, for your mother, and for everyone who needs a light in the dark.
Very well. The memorial fund and your donation will be formally approved tomorrow. Don't make me regret this.
The alcove fell silent again, but Sora's heart beat a new rhythm. No longer a lonely vigil, but a promise etched in light and brass. The next day, Sora stood behind a podium in the aquarium's main hall, a photo of his mother propped before him.
My mother, Aiko Fujiwara, donated this jellyfish tank as her final gift. She loved the sea, and she believed that even after she was gone, her light could remain. For 15 years, I visited that tank every Sunday, never knowing why, until a keeper risked everything to give me back that light.
A murmur rippled through the reporters. One raised a hand.
What was the hardest part? Realizing I'd been visiting her grave for years without even knowing it. And then, learning to let her go.
The conference concluded, and the reporters dispersed, but the weight of his words lingered in the salt-tinged air.
You were incredible. Your mom would have been so proud.
I couldn't have done it without you. This place, it's finally starting to feel like a home for her memory, not just a tomb.
The memorial fund starts next month. Other families will be able to remember their own loved ones here. You made that possible, Sora.
The jellyfish drifted, lights pulsing, in a slow, steady rhythm, a heartbeat that would keep two mothers' love alive for generations. The next morning, Takeda summoned them again. His expression was unreadable, but his words cut through the fragile peace.
The board has approved the memorial fund, but the unauthorized plaque must be removed by tonight. It violates every protocol.
But that's all I have left of her. You can't just tear it down.
Mr. Takeda, that plaque isn't just metal, it's a promise. There has to be another way.
I am sorry, Fujiwara. This isn't personal. Unless you can find a way to make it officially part of the exhibit, it's gone.
Then I'll design a new memorial wall, right in the jellyfish gallery. Both our mother's plaques, side by side with a dedication.
A memorial wall that would require new permits, funding, and you'd have to convince the entire board.
I'll fund it. I'll present to the board. Just give me 2 weeks. If I fail, the plaque comes down, and I'll leave.
2 weeks, no mistakes. I'll hold you to it, Fujiwara.
The door clicked shut behind them. The countdown had begun, and the weight of an impossible promise settled on Sora's shoulders. Sora spread blueprints across a folding table in the darkened jellyfish gallery, the empty tank glowing like a lantern behind him.
You haven't slept in 2 days. Here, I brought coffee. Let me help.
This wall has to be perfect. It's not just about rules, it's about making a place where love doesn't get erased by bureaucracy.
The night stretched on. Together, they sketched a wall of living light, where every brass plate would be bathed in the tank's eternal glow. 2 days later, Sora stood before the aquarium board, the blueprints held tight. Takeda watched from the corner, arms still crossed.
This memorial wall isn't about breaking rules, it's about light, the same light that filled the tank my mother donated, and the light Nanami's mother saw in her final days.
A board member leaned forward, her expression softening. Takeda uncrossed his arms.
The board approves the memorial. The plaque stays, but no more secrets. Fujiwara. This institution is people, not just fish.
Later that day, Nanami's trembling fingers tightened the final screw on the memorial wall. Side by side, 2 names gleamed under the jellyfish light.
They're together now. And so are we. Thank you, Sora, for fighting for something you'd never even seen before that day.
A week later, the memorial wall stood complete. There were no reporters this time, only the people who mattered.
I once said, rules exist to protect this place. Today I learned that sometimes protecting it means letting love break a few.
My mother loved this aquarium, but she never told me she donated this tank. I found out by accident because someone risked everything to give her back to me.
That tank gave me a second family. I hope it'll be a light for many more.
An elderly woman approached the wall, her fingers brushing a photograph tucked beside the flowers, a faded image of a child at the aquarium. She whispered a name into the quiet, her words swallowed by the gentle hum of the pumps. Sora watched, and for the first time he understood, this was never just his mother's legacy. It belonged to everyone who needed somewhere to mourn.
You changed more lives than you'll ever know, including mine.
I only did what you taught me, that a single small light can guide someone home.
The jellyfish pulsed slowly, and the 2 names on the wall shone steady, a quiet promise that love once given never truly fades. A year passed. The jellyfish gallery was never dark on a Sunday again. Sora still stood at the glass every week. But now he was never alone. Nanami pressed the button at 2 p.m. sharp, and the tank erupted into its official show. But this time, she held his gaze for just a second longer.
You know, I still remember the first time I saw you standing there. I almost dropped the feeding bucket.
And I thought you were just a keeper obsessed with feeding times. I had no idea you were holding my mother's hand through the glass.
It wasn't just feeding. It was a promise. And now, it's a promise for everyone.
Outside, the memorial wall gleamed with dozens of small names and photos added over the year. A garden of brass and light.
It's strange. I spent so long trying to hold on to her. Now, by letting go, I've found her everywhere.
That's what love does. It doesn't disappear. It just changes shape, like jellyfish.
They stood together, 2 people who had carried grief alone, now surrounded by a community of light. A living memorial that grew with every Sunday. Early morning light filtered through the water, casting blue ripples across the silent gallery. Sora stood alone before the wall, his fingers resting lightly on his mother's name.
I used to think this place was where I came to miss her, but now it's where I feel her most.
Quiet footsteps approached. Nanami, still in her morning coat, carried 2 steaming cups.
You are here early. Couldn't sleep either?
Number. But it's a good kind of wakefulness. Like she's been visiting my dreams again.
My mother used to say that when you can't sleep, it's because someone who loves you is thinking of you.
They stood in silence, the jellyfish drifting like slow thoughts, the memorial wall, a constellation of quiet loves.
I think I finally understand. The aquarium worker feeds one specific tank only when I come to visit, because it's not just a tank. It's a promise.
The light caught the brass letters, Aiko Fujiwara, Yuko Utsumi, and for a moment, the 2 names seemed to glow with the same steady pulse. And Sora knew, with a certainty that felt like sunlight, that some promises don't need a voice to be heard. The morning light strengthened, and the gallery began to stir with the first visitors of the day. A young boy tugged his mother toward the jellyfish tank, his eyes wide with wonder. Sora watched him, and in that simple gesture, he saw the future of this place, not a mausoleum but a nursery of memories.
Ready for the first Sunday of the new year? I made an extra bucket of brine shrimp.
Always. And I brought something new for the wall.
He placed the photograph beside the plaque, his mother, laughing, a jellyfish silhouette in the background.
That's exactly how I remember her. Not from a photo, but from the way you talked about her.
You know, the aquarium worker feeds one specific tank only when I come to visit. And I finally understand why.
Because some lights aren't meant to be seen, they're meant to be remembered. And in that remembering, they never ever go out. End of chapter. Renewed every year.